להתחיל, כן.
רגע.
לא, תעשה וידאו בעצם.
כן, כן, וידאו. טיפה יותר למעלה תשים את זה? פחות? אוקיי. אפשר.
תודה. אוקיי, I'm leaving you. I'll be back later.
אוקיי. היי אבי.
Hello.
שיעבור רק האוטו עם הטוטו.
את רוצה את זה באנגלית, אני מבין, נכון?
Yes.
אוקיי.
הנה, הוא נוסע קדימה. בבקשה.
היי אבי.
Hello.
Could you please state your name, your family name, where you're from?
My name is Avi Lulu Shamriz. I'm from Kibbutz Kfar Aza. I born in Iran. I came to Israel when I was 3 years old. And from then, I'm staying in Israel.
Can I ask what year? Can I ask what year you were born?
I born in Abadan, Iran.
Year.
Year 1962.
Could you take us back to the morning of October 7th? Where were you? What happened?
I was in my house in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. 6:30 in the morning, the Hamas start to bomb our village, and we guide to go to the safe room to stay there until the Hamas stop the shooting. And from then we heard by the media, we have internal media in the kibbutz, that there is some terrorists coming to our village, and we had to stay at our home in the safe room until we'll get a message to come out.
Who was in the safe room with you? How many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids. In the safe room was me, my wife, and my daughter, my youngest daughter. She is 20 years old. I have 3 children. Each of them has his own house in our kibbutz Kfar Aza. One of them is Alon, which was kidnapped from his house in the west area of the kibbutz. The other 2 are in the kibbutz, each of them in separate house.
Wow. So your son is missing. Can you give us a bit more details about where
Yes.
he was
Yes,
when he
yes.
went missing? Was there any special tactic that was used?
Well, my son live in a special zone that the kibbutz put the young people. Young people meaning people who is in the army or finished the army and they are students. This area called DOTS, Dor Tzair, and they getting a separate house with a safe room and a living room. It's a small house. They have their own community. It's about 16 rooms like that. And my son was among other 16 people who were living there. The Hamas came to this part of the village during the 6:30 in the morning, and there were about 150 terrorists coming to our village. Part of them came by cars, part of them came by motorcycles, and part of them came by engine parachutes. We got the indication of the Hamas coming to our village something around 7 o'clock a.m. and immediately everyone get to his house, lock the doors, lock the safe room. My son was there until 10 o'clock when we got from him a message by WhatsApp. It was 9:58. He sent a message that the Hamas is knocking on his door and coming to his house. And then they break the house and go inside to the safe room. They were pulling out all the residents of this part of the village by taking one of the residents, and he was the one who is knocking on the doors and ask them to come out, otherwise they will kill him. And slowly by slowly, they were pulling out all the children from the room, and they start to massacre them, shooting them, tidying them, putting in them one room, and then throwing grenade to this room, and then shooting them and burning the room, the way that we cannot identify anymore the people who was murdered. My son was kidnapped. I have some proof that I got by his neighbor. He sent a message of WhatsApp to his sister, and in this message is testing that they are kidnapping my son. I have this message with me, and we gave it to the army people, and they, after 2 days, they were able to clear it that he is really kidnapped, and he is among people who was kidnapped to Gaza. I was staying in my room in my house in the south village. We have our own zone. There were some terrorists coming to our village and start to go room by room, house by house, pulling out people and shoot them. They came to my house around 12:30. They knock on my door and I didn't answer. So they go from the other side of the house and shoot inside my house. I was armed and I was staying that they will come in, that I will be able to react. But they didn't come to my house, they just shoot inside. And after a few minutes, they go to my neighbor, stood up on the roof and start to shoot everyone who was walking in the street. And after a few hours, something around 1:30, they went to the other houses in my street, and they killed 2 families. They go inside their house, open the safe room and shoot the people who was there. The army was pulling us out around 2:30 in the morning of the day after, meaning we have more than 20 hours in our houses, in the safe room, and we had to walk about 2 kilometers by leg. Children, women, old people, we had to take them by the wheelchair, and we walk about 30 minutes, and every few meters we had to stay down because the terrorists were shooting all over. We went out the kibbutz, and about after half an hour we were out, and from there the army sent some trucks to took us outside of the shooting area to a safe place.
Can you describe what kinds of moments you had in the safe room? Your wife and daughter, you said you told them to hide there. You were somewhere else in the house
Yes,
with
yes.
your weapon. Can you give us a bit more details about
Yeah.
how long and
From
what was
the
going through your mind?
from the moment that I heard shooting in the village, I came out from the safe room. I asked my wife and my daughter to stay there. I was in the living room with a gun, M16. I have a commando knife. And from there, I asked my wife not to leave the safe room. And I said to my wife, I will be more effective if I will be out to eliminate people coming to my house and start to shoot inside. So I thought this is the best way to protect myself and my family. And we were in the safe room from 6:30 in the morning till 12 o'clock midnight, when the army knocked on our doors and said, you can come out. The army, we were afraid that people who knocking on our doors are not army, because the terrorists were identified themselves like army. They said we are the army, to try to convince us to come out and to shoot us. So they give some password to us to identify the soldiers, and that way we were able to communicate with them to know that this is the real army coming and to come and protect us.
And in the same way, you're saying in the dorms where the young kids live and your son lives, you said that they were taking one person from one room. And can you explain that again
Yes.
so people understand?
They taking one person who was out already, and he is knocking on the next room and convince the guy inside to come out. Otherwise, he will be shot, the person who is knocking on the door. That way they convince many young people to come out. And this is the way that why they easily open the doors of the young people and pull them out. But part of them, they were not alive today because they shot them. Part of them was kidnapped to Gaza.
Any other news you've had about your son since he's been missing? Any more clues? Did you have a
Well,
message from a friend?
From Shabbat morning, 10 a.m., we have no news of our sons till today. From 10 o'clock a.m. he didn't react for any message we send, or we try to call him. There is no answer. So we know that something happened. And after 10 days, we found some clue that he might be kidnapped. This clue came from WhatsApp messages that we got by third party from his neighbor, claiming that our son is kidnapping. It was in real time. So I have this message with me. I give it to the army. They were able to check it, this information. And after 2 days, the army came to us and said, we thinking that your son was kidnapped. But until now, we don't know his position. If he's alive, if he's hurt, if he's in good condition, bad condition, we don't know.
Must be absolute nightmare. Can't describe.
It is.
not knowing where he is. How many? I mean, there was 16 dorms, right? How many of the kids were killed? How many were kidnapped?
Well, there is not final result of this. We know that among the 16, there is 4 people who was definitely kidnapped. Among them, there is 2 twins, 2 brother twins, my son and one of the daughters, and there is more than 5 which were killed, and till now 8 are missing. We don't know what's happened to them. We're waiting for the result of the DNA test because the bodies was so harmed badly that we cannot identify them by visual. It must be by testing blood and stuff like that. So until now, we have about 8 people. We don't know what's happened to them.
Is there anything, thoughts that you have that you want to share? Any other details, like, you know?
I want to say that the government of Israel is responsible for what happened to us. My village was destroyed by the Hamas. There is no village to return to. All the houses are mostly harmed, burned, destroyed, and if I want to return to my house, there is no place that I can return. So from now, I had to find a place to live until the government will start to build the village from scratch, because we cannot live there now. But I'm claiming that the government of Israel didn't do his job. They didn't protect us. Saturday, 6:30 in the morning, 150 Hamas people came to our village without one shot. Nobody stopped them. They just took their cars, their vehicles, and just drove to our village without any shooting. Nobody stopped them, not one soldier, not one aircraft, not one helicopter. No one. They just came in like they are going to some picnic or something like that. They were not afraid. More than 150 terrorists came to our village. They did for about 4 hours anything they want. They walk on the streets like they are the owners of this village. They start to burn and destroy our village, and nobody came to help us. After 4 hours, there was some soldiers that by mistake were grabbed from outside of our village, came inside and tried to help us. But this was too little and too late. After many, many hours, the government sent soldiers, and they start to help us to kill the terrorists and slowly by slowly pull out all the citizens from the village. I never saw destruction that I saw in my village. I am a soldier many years. I served for many years in special forces. I never saw so savage of these terrorists. They are not human beings.
And the safety room, people keep talking about the safety room, but I'm not sure if people understand what a safety room is. How big is it? What do
Okay.
you usually use it as? Is it a bedroom in your house? Is it an office? How safe is it?
The safe room is a room that built by concrete, and there is some metal doors that protecting us from bombs, not from terrorists. It's about 3 by 3 meters room. Normally, we are not putting inside more than small furnitures, some water. This is for staying there for a few minutes because the missiles that the Hamas is shooting us is not for all days. They're just shooting. It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then we can come out. This time, they send the terrorists. This room is not protecting us from the terrorists because the door is not about to be locked. It's a simple opening door which everyone can open it from inside or outside. It's not locked from inside. It's not a safe room from terrorists, only for bombs, from missiles. So people who are staying there are not be protected from the terrorists. They were staying there not to be harmed by missiles. People who were staying there and eliminate terrorists come in was doing some effort to keep the door closed by the hand or by some instrument that the terrorists from outside cannot open the door. That's it. But it's not going to protect us from terrorists.
Really hope your son will be found as soon as possible.
I have some message to the Hamas people. My son is an innocent boy. He didn't harm them. He didn't do anything bad to them. So he is not deserving to be a prisoner or anything else that they claiming that they taking hostages to replace a Hamas terrorist in our prison. My son didn't do anything to them. He is a nice guy. He is a student. He was staying in his room. He didn't shoot them. He didn't do any fighting or arguing with them. They just came to his room. He's a peaceful guy. He's not an army guy. So I'm asking to get, as soon as possible, a message for him to know that he is safe, he is okay, and hopefully he will come back to our house as fast as he can. This is the message I want to send to them, and I want to send a picture that they will see him to know that this is my son and he didn't do anything to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, זה רעיון ממש ארוך והדבר הראשון, אתה פשוט תחזיק רגע את זה שעם השם שלך והתאריך. אז... NAOR